cattle die and kinsmen die, and so one dies oneself. But a noble name will never die, if good renown one gets. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to turn 77 of Aries, where we are playing Utgard. Let's jump into the turn. Okay, so we got a messenger from Atlantis. Dang, there goes half my siege staff. Yeah. And then we have, we're just gonna jump right into the big battle at Behemoth's Rest, and we're gonna see how it goes. So, our forces are arrayed. Alright. Have our mercenary forces kind of out in front, along with our spiders, a little batch of javelinists, a big cluster of undead, some giants, both undead and not dead varieties, our communion, and then our little Gunloth situation. And on the other side, we have a very big line of ice guards. Some Engakocks. We've got the White Mage here in the back. Right? I realized these guys were all kitted out, but they are, and they are scary. Bell of Cleansing. Cleansing Chime. Destroy any demons that are there. That's pretty cool. Is that what he's got mostly? He's got a Flying Carpet. He's just flying. I don't know. Don't think so. Axe of Hate. So those are kitted out as thugs. Okay, cool. So, we're gonna watch from a big kind of whole battle perspective. Just gonna watch at a normal pace as everything goes off. Big communion. Alright, we get a natural rain, and this is actually, I believe this is a Stygian rain effect. We got a Wailing Winds. We got Howl. And we get some Gifts of Heaven coming down. Got a whole bunch of swarm casts. Another Gifts of Heaven. Looks like his thugs are down in the back now. Very cool. Got a fire elemental coming out from either the Ghoul King or Aries. And it doesn't look great for us. We're going to speed up just a little bit in time to watch. Oh, Gunloth's down here running around. Uh-oh. He's running into a whole horde of swarm. Okay, so the Ice Guard are into our Scrotty now. Unfortunate. Our giants are slowly getting surrounded and destroyed by the Ice Guard. Okay. It's like we've got... Oh. Did he just get enslaved? What's going on here? Oh, he's paralyzed. Okay. Why can't I see any of his equipment or anything? Weird. Our Howl's gone. Speed up a little bit more. And that's a big loss for us. Okay, so let's take a look at the battle again. So this is actually the results, right? We lost almost everything. He lost almost nothing, and it's almost like I know it, like straight up. It is almost 1 100%. No, not even almost 100%. It is 100% off of one spell. Oof. Oof. So you might notice in looking at our forces, right? We lose most of our regular forces, right? All of our long dead, all of our long dead giants, all of our large spiders, most of our gaudy huskarls, not all of our javelinists, actually, right? Lose a bunch of mages going down the line, all of our scrotty, and then you get to Seath Konas, and we lost one Seath Kona. So let's go ahead and watch this again. We're gonna watch it zoomed in to kind of like see how this goes down. Minion comes up, natural rain, again, I think this is a Stygian rain, which just applies the natural rain effect, I believe. And Wailing Winds comes up, and then almost immediately we're gonna see, like, we get a bunch of stuff come out, and all of our stuff is just running. So right here already, we are not even done with script casting, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Seaths right here running. All of the knights ended up running. Half of our giants, our javelinists, just turn around and run, right? And it doesn't end. Our Seaths continue to just piecemeal run. This is why we only lost a single Seath Kona, is because the vast majority of them just routed almost immediately from Wailing Winds. Wailing Winds just handed that entire battle to Atlantis in a gift basket. In a gift basket. We can watch it again real quick. Had Wailing Winds not existed, or had I don't know. So we have all of these Seath Konas, and most of their morale is relatively low. I'm not sure why it's so low. Is that a normal thing for Seath Konas? I guess maybe it is. So they have low morale, but we're in friendly dominion, get an experience bonus, etc. So the Wailing Winds routes people as soon as, yeah, it's already routing. So already here we are routing. Big oof. Big oof-a-doof. And that's really it. Like, that's 1000% what it comes down to. Had we not routed, where is our, I want to keep an eye on Gunloth real quick. Had we not routed this, or just chain routed, this battle probably would have been a very different thing. I think we actually probably would have won. The only thing, because I've looked through this a couple times, the only thing that was potentially scary was his Angacox and his White Mage. They would have been hard to deal with, but they didn't have extremely high magic resistance, and we probably would have just soul slayed them eventually. So we have, I'm gonna keep an eye on Gunloth. He kind of like goes through. Let's see if he ever gets hit by something. Okay. So now he comes down here towards this huge stack of... Yeah, and he's kind of encumbered. He also doesn't have any... He didn't get fly cast on him. I don't know where the fly ended up going, but he did not get fly. So, unfortunate. He get hit? Ah, right there, right there. What did he get hit with? He got hit with paralyze. So this is where he gets paralyzed. Is there just like a certain point if you zoom out far enough where you can't see things? Seemed like it. Let's check and see if he gets hit with something else. It might have just been a weird, like, graphics bug. But it looked like maybe he got... Oh, he got enslaved mind? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. He got enslaved mind. Okay, hell yeah. So, Gunloth has been stolen. So that's what I was curious about. When I clicked on him, I was like, wait a second. The only reason, like, I wouldn't be able to see, like, any of that stuff is if he was enslaved, because when you get enslaved, you're no longer a commander, so you lose all your item slots, etc. So okay, so that was cool, that was interesting. I mean, I'm not super upset because, like, I've kind of been one, I think it's really cool that Atlantis might actually win. I don't know how successful the rest of their attacks have been. But two, like I said, I'm just in the mood to fight at this point. I'm a little bummed out that we lost to the Wailing Winds. So I wonder. Right, so I'm gonna pop over here to the inspector and double check something real quick. See how much of this is my fault, right? So I guess if I had, maybe if I had been spamming, if I had thought about it ahead of time, and with all of my priests, maybe if I had been spamming Sermon of Courage, right? That could have negated the Wailing Winds. That would probably have been a good plan. And then that might have helped everything. I didn't have a shit, what is it? Fucking Priest 4. I didn't have a Priest 4 for something like Fanaticism, right? I still had Baldur, who was Priest 3, right? I guess if I had taken like a big goad, and I think if you profit one of these guys, no, they just, if you're under 3, you just go up to 3, right? You have to be at 3 and get, or is it? I don't remember. I don't remember how the profit stuff works. Let's check. I'm not doing anything else, right? So, Ilwinter. Let's check and see what the boost for profiting is. So, Sermon of Courage spam might have helped. If I had thought about it ahead of time and had access to Fanaticism, that probably would have helped. Oh, this is not wanting to load for me because I'm trying to download other stuff. But other than that, I'm not sure that there's really anything else that I could have done. Does Wailing Winds is just an MR check, right? It's not tied to anything like, it's not, sorry, not an MR, morale check. It's not tied to MR is what I was trying to say, right? Yeah, it just decreases your morale. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. So, oh man, That's that's rough. So immediately oh, the enlarge worked. That's pretty cool. Or the army of giants worked pretty well. And obviously, like, our mass protection did pretty good because all of our gaudy huskarls are up to 20 prot now. Our little this little unit of knights is up to 24 protection. He also did mass protection, so his ice guard are up to 24 protection. So these and with Stygian Reigns, these guys are invulnerable, up to 15. So that's pretty cool. Man, I again, I am a little bummed. But it's almost entirely, I'm just bummed that the fight wasn't more of a slugfest, that it was just a chain rout. Like, had I lost, I still would have been, ooh, that fucking, oof, it looked pretty good. I still would have been fine losing, even if it was just like a big exchange. But the wailing, losing to wailing winds just feels kind of eh, you know, because it's like, oh, we didn't fight, we just ran, we just running manned it. So, congratulations to Atlantis for kicking my ass on this one. Good job, very very cool. I am going to relay that to them. Let's check everything else real quick. So we lost some population, lost some dominion, befriended a magic being in Umbro. And in Behemoth's Rust were damaged, died from a disease, etc. So what are we actually doing? In Umbro, we got a Lamia. Cool. We'll leave that Lamia there. We're bringing all of our forces forward from Umbro, and from Simri. Right? Just moving back up to the north, and we're gonna attack. We're gonna break siege. We're going to move from Mighty Pillars. We're basically all of the little remnants that we have, we're throwing at him, and you might notice that I'm just gonna assume that we're gonna die. So literally all of my Seathkonas that are in this are up front, spamming mostly nether darts, just trying to get as many nether darts out as quickly as possible, right? There's a little bit of other stuff going on. All of the gems that I had there, I'm using. They were all on this this scout. So everyone who has a nature gem is casting Swarm and then casting a bunch of nether darts. Everyone who has an astral pearl is casting no communions, nothing like that, just straight Swarm into nether darts. All of these are magic duel into nether darts, and that's it. We're just gonna try to, oh, that one's not. Pull up. We're just gonna try to do as much damage as we can, between nether darts and everything else. I'm assuming that it's not gonna be much damage. So I'm not super worried about it. But again, right, it's that scenario of like, I'm not just gonna hand it over without a fight. I'm gonna do what I can. And the other thing is they're all in Behemoth's Rest anyways, so I could wait a turn, but next turn, like I told you, it's only gonna take him 2 turns to crack this place. Next turn he's gonna crack this place, and then he'll be coming at me anyways. So if I was close enough to reinforce with one of these armies, then I would probably wait the turn. But as it is, I'm gonna expedite the process for him. I'm just gonna throw everything at him, and do as much damage and see if I'm assuming he'll just kill everything outright, right? And then we'll go from there, right? See how that works out. I'm hopeful. I'm gonna send him a message, but I'm hopeful that things are going well for them. Okay, so message sending is, oof, that Welling Winds handed you that handed that to you in a gift basket. Nicely done. Half my army just routed, including the majority of my Seaths. So much for the Turbo Communion. Good job. I hope the rest of your battles have gone as well. Okay. And then we're going to send our normal message out to everyone. And this is kind of thematic. Like, it's funny that we get to the talking about the death when, honestly, that was probably our last big battle. That was the big Turbo Communion, right? That was the big batch of Seaths. Oof. To lose it all to Wailing Winds just makes me so sad. There is a part of me that, with this game, like, there's so many cool things in this game. In Dominions 5, period, not just this particular game. There's so many cool things in this game that make playing the game a joy, right? Finding different strategies and combining different spells to different effects, etc. is really, really cool. But sometimes you just get into a situation and it's just like, oh, well, he fog warriored his army and I don't have the counter online. Yes, I'll just die. Or, oh, I think I can beat him in a straight up fight. He Wailing Winds and half my army routed. Oh. Yes, I'll just die. Right? Like, there's a lot in this game that is super cool and super interesting. But there's also a fair chunk in this game that is... unless you are anticipating and respond... It's kind of like... It's... As far as a strategy game goes, right? It is... what's the term I'm looking for? It's very snowbally, basically, right? It's once you start winning, you generally keep winning, unless 15 people turn on you, which does happen. But more specifically, what I meant meaning is along the lines of in like battles. It tends to be like whoever has the best combat trick wins the day, right? So you'll run into like, it's the early, how quickly can I get Horde of Skeleton spams up? Or how quickly can I get Foul Vapors up? Or, you know, then you get into late game scenarios and it's how quickly do I Wailing Winds? Or Army of Gold or Lead, right? Or Fog Warriors or Mass Flight, or it's always some combat trick that if you have and your opponent doesn't have the answer to, it's not like, oh, very favorable. No, it's like, oh, we slaughter them. But that was this is not me complaining. I don't know that I'm not saying that that's a bad design. I'm saying that that is the way the game is designed. So you get into these scenarios, especially like in my case, right? It's way different if you're at the end game and you're a big nation with many different fronts and many different armies and options, etc. Right? Then things are vastly different, right? But this is more along the lines of if you're a small nation or if it's an early game scenario, right? You run into very much, you'll get into a situation where it's like, okay, everything basically hinges on whether or not this army that I have lives or dies, right? And that army may live or die based off of one spell. And that is sometimes that's awesome, right? And sometimes it's super depressing. So, congratulations to Atlantis. That was a fucking awesome fight. Would have loved to have seen how the Turbo Communion did just against everything regularly. Would have been really interested to see if what I had could have dealt with his big ass Angakok thugs, right? Like, those guys are super scary. I feel sad that it all came down to Wailing Winds. But anyways, so that is the turn. And pretty much everything from here is probably going to be downhill. So I'm hopeful, right, that we're going to toss all of this stuff at Atlantis next turn. But I'm hopeful that Atlantis is going to take it away and earn a much-deserved victory. I don't know that that's actually going to be the case. It might be that Atlantis is losing in all the other places, but won against me. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.